Hello everyone, Maddie here, and welcome back to another introduction to several months worth of upcoming books for Maddie's Baking Book Club. Can you even believe we are already talking about September, October, November, and December? We're finishing out the year one of Maddie's Baking Book Club. I am so excited. This project has gone so well. I have loved getting to interact with people, a lot of folks out there who are enjoying reading the books, participating in creating bakes inspired by the books we read. It has just been so great. So a quick rundown here if you don't know what I'm talking about. In January of this year, 2023, I started what I'm calling Maddie's Baking Book Club. I, with the help of some friends and family, am choosing a different book for every month of the year, and then that month I post a little video discussion, what I thought about the book, talking with whoever helped me chose it or who read the book with me, and then I create a macaron inspired by that book. Besides baking, reading is what I love to do. It's how I spend most of my free time. And so this has been a really, really fun outlet and a really creative way for me to continue pushing the boundaries of my macaron making and then also enjoy reading a lot of books at the same time. I know that not everybody reads as much as I do or as fast as I do. So if you are interested in joining in, no pressure, do not worry. You do not have to read every single book. You do not have to create a bake if you don't want to. If you want to create something completely different, all of that is okay. The goal is just having fun. It is a very low stakes, low stress book club. So let's talk about the next 4 books for Maddie's Baking Book Club. For September, my friend Amber chose this book. It is called Sweet Bean Paste. That is the English translation of the title. It is originally a Japanese book written by Durian Sukegawa. I've never heard that as a Japanese first name before, so I'm not sure if this is just his pen name. But anyway, the original Japanese title is An for sweet bean paste, which is used in a lot of different sweets in Japanese pastry. And it has been relatively recently translated into English. So it is a pretty short story. I think it's about 200 pages. I've already read it and I passed it along to several people already. So I do not have it to show you right now. I'll put it on the screen here. It is a lovely story and in a very, very Japanese style. There's kind of this very quiet, small dorayaki shop. Dorayaki is like a pancake that's filled with bean paste. So we have our main character who works there. He's had kind of a rough go of it, and then we meet a couple other main characters throughout the story, and the story focuses on kind of their relationships and dynamic, not like a love story, but just a, human connection kind of a story. And it really takes an interesting twist that I was not expecting, and I cannot wait to share all of my thoughts about this book. It is such a great book to get into a discussion about, and I think if you read it, you will also want to pass it along to everyone you know as well. So for September, the last Sunday in September, I'll be posting my sweet bean paste discussion and macaron tutorial. So stay tuned for that. Then in October, I have a special guest, a fellow baker in the macaron and pastry community over on Instagram that I have gotten to know a little bit better and had more interactions with thanks to Maddie's Baking Book Club. Her name is Lisa. You can find her at Lisa Carol Bakes. I'll tag her down below. She recommended the book Lessons in Chemistry. I just got it. It just arrived in the mail. If you ever pass by a bookstore, you might have seen this in the window. Definitely an eye-catching cover. As soon as she recommended this, I hadn't read it before, but as soon as she recommended this book, I knew it was perfect for this book club. It looks like a book I would want to read, and also there's a lot of baking involved, cooking involved. There's going to be a lot of food in here, I think. So I think it will be something that is really perfect for creating a bake inspired by this book. This book is based in the 1960s in California. It is historical fiction. It sounds like it has a very feminist sort of slant. Our main character is a woman who is a scientist and somehow ends up on this very, very popular cooking show, and kind of everything spirals out from there. So I absolutely cannot wait to get into this and then start planning my bake. This book, Lessons in Chemistry, and the discussion and bake, all of that will be for the last Sunday in October. So you can anticipate it for then. You've got a couple months. It is a thicker book. The September book is about 200 pages. This one is... looks like about 375 or so. So a little bit longer, but nothing too crazy. Then the book for November this year was recommended to me by my friend Sarah. Sarah and I met when we were studying in South Korea together, and she has since returned for her master's degree. And so we read really different styles of books, but Sarah reads a lot. I mean, anybody I think getting their master's degree reads a lot. But she recommended this book called Whale, which is another book that has been recently translated into English. Whale was written by Myeong-Kwan. I'll link everything down below, so don't worry about remembering everything right now. And this story is also a historical fiction book. We're getting into a lot of those this year. But this one is based in South Korea, and it also is a little bit of generational storytelling. I think we follow a grandmother, mother, and daughter throughout some different points in the story, and there's a lot, it sounds of magical realism. So kind of a historical fiction, kind of contemporary fiction, kind of fantasy magical realism, all in this one story. I have not read it yet. I did order it. It is available. The English translation, I think, just came out earlier this year. So I'm guessing a lot of folks out there might not have come across this one yet. And I'm really, really excited to read this, to talk with Sarah about it, and then also see what all of you think. This one, contrary to particularly the October book, but also the September book, where there are a lot of food themes just right there in front of you, this November book is going to be more like a challenge. If anybody has been following along since early this year, in February, my sister-in-law Caitlin and I, we read When Women Were Dragons. That, I think, is going to be a little bit similar in that I don't think there's going to be a lot of food mentioned. We will see. So I think it's going to take a lot of creativity, and I love that. So Whale is going to be the book for November, and the discussion and tutorial will come out the last Sunday in November. Last but not least, we have a December book, which I do have right here. I just got this one as well. It's called Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. And this one, I wanted to go back to the genre of cozy mystery. We started out the year with Arsenic and Adobo in January, and I used to, way back in high school, I read a lot of cozy mysteries, and I just kind of rediscovered them this year. So I wanted to go back to that, kind of have this year come full circle. And I also really liked this book. I had read a lot of reviews about it, and it sounds like a really sweet story. And our main character is a 60-year-old woman who owns a tea shop. If you've watched several of my videos, you've probably seen that I use a lot of tea, and I love tea-inspired macarons. So I haven't read the book, but I'm already really excited to find some good tea references that I can make a macaron inspired by. And then, of course, it's a murder mystery story. So I cannot wait. My cousin Bria is returning to read and discuss this one with me, so she and I will round out the year. This book discussion and pastry tutorial will drop the last Sunday in December, so right after Christmas, right before New Year's. It's going to be a really fun and relaxing time. This is not too long of a book. Whale, I think, is in the like 350 page range. I don't think it's too long. So the next couple of months, we've got a lot of different topics going on, a lot of different places and times and countries and cultures and all kinds of things, some slightly different genres of books. So yeah, a lot of really fun things going on here. As I mentioned, this is a really low stakes, no pressure book club. And if you ever want to read any of the past books for any of the past months, obviously, I'm always recommending those books to you. You can watch my discussions and pastry tutorials at any time. And if you ever want to participate in these book club bakes, you can use the hashtag Maddie's Baking Book Club over on Instagram. And then your post and your bake will go into a collection of everybody else who is also participating, so you can add yours to the mix as well. I hope you are as excited about the upcoming books as I am, and I cannot wait to read all of these things with you. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!